This would require, if adopted today, that the auditor's office must put a written determination for the basis of the contract in the file, the writing that one in order is a special purchase and the selection of the particular contractor. Additionally, this would go in the special purchase contract file in the auditor's office. That's under 52210. That record must contain the name of the contractor, the type of each contract, the description of the supplies purchased under the contract, and it's subject to audit by the State Board of Accounts. So as far as the actual machine, I think for the auditor's office would be the best way to describe what would be used. For the contract, you have choices of 36, 48, or 63 months.
All right, Madam Auditor, I know you're new in the office. This machine is in your office. I think previously or currently, we have this 63-month agreement. Is that correct?
Yes. Again, it's been there prior to me. It works well. It's been, I guess they've been through 3 or 4 different companies, and this is the one they've settled with. Obviously, anything that's a cost savings would be a better way to look at it, but given the financial situation we're in, to do the long-term contract would be, I don't know if we need to commit to something that far in advance.
Well, that was my next question. I mean, there is some savings, but we're only talking about $300 a month. We may not be able to pay any of them regardless of what they are.
Again, it would be a savings of $298 something a month if you did the 63 month.
Well, it's a service we're gonna have regardless.
Yes.
You guys have any comment on this as far as the term?
This postage for that postage?
Yeah.
That you do the postage with, sits outside.
Yes.
So 63 months is $818.35.
63 months.
And then it jumps up. 48 months is 900 and something.
One way or the other, we have to have it though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and just make the motion that we approve the 63-month contract. It's the lesser amount. We'll struggle to pay any bill, so it doesn't matter what it is at this point.
I'll second that motion.
I'll second.
I made the motion, Bob seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Just a reminder, it does have to be in compliance with 522.10.3. So the auditor's office would need a written determination when it was selected, particular contractor, and this has to go in a separate file in the auditor's office.
And I'm sure that you'll take care of that, Sheila. I've signed the top copy, and then the other ones are your other contracts. Okay, library board appointment. It's our last meeting.
She's here.
Yeah, you can come on up and sit here if you want to. I'll just start with what I know and then I'll let you fill in the. At our last meeting, we had a vacancy. David Weaver, I believe's term expired at the end of May. Is that correct?
No, it expired last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, okay. I knew it was sometime close. And Tony Volker had requested that position, and we had approved that at our last board meeting. And is there anything that you need to add to that or want to add to that? Or?
Yeah, I'd like to. My procedure's always been, well, let me just back up just a second. It's been almost 16 years since you all had to appoint anyone to our board. So I know probably none of you have been through that with us before.
Yep.
Okay. So what I do ordinarily is I bring a whole packet of information for you in triplicate, usually a week or 2 before your meeting. And it matters to me when you do this because we also meet on the 3rd Monday of every month, and I would like to be able to be here, so I couldn't be here.
Okay.
I can't be here 2 places at once. So I always bring that information. I always bring a recommendation based on state library and ALA recommendations and our own choice. And that choice is up to you. They're just recommendations. But I'd appreciate it if next time if you'll wait for me to do that.
And this was presented to me at a precinct meeting. They come up and spoke to me and said, hey, my term's ending and somebody else was interested in it. That's how that happened, just so you
It's
know.
up to me to make sure everything's done according to code, and that's why we'll be here. We don't have any problem with your choice at all. We think it's a good choice, but I'm just kind of telling you this for the next time.
Sure. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope that it's another 16 years and I'm not here.
Almost got
Well, me too, just not sitting here.
in. Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else that you need us to do other than to go ahead and sign this document, because we've already approved it?
2 copies of it signed,
Okay,
and then either you all can give it to Tony or I can.
okay. We just have the one copy. If we sign
Yes.
that, you'll take care of it and get copies to everybody that needs to be. Okay. All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the information as well.
Sure.
I think that's got you covered there. Okay. Who was I gonna move up, Sheila?
Sure.
Well, somewhere in my shuffle, I've lost that paper. Can I borrow yours? Rosie? Sharon, do you wanna come up? We'll get you up here in the head of the business for the 911. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Good.
I'm Sharon Barger. I'm VFW Auxiliary here in Spencer. But when I decided, I woke up one night thinking about 9/11 and about Brentwood. And so my proposal that you have is for us to do a 9/11 program this year, September 11th at 11 a.m. And I'm asking to put 2,996 flags on the courthouse square. I have volunteers to help and to help take them off afterwards. I'm also asking for us to put a yellow ribbon around the sycamore tree in honor of Brentwood. I also have my program already ready. And I've also talked with all these people and they are willing to help. And I want you to know the Chamber of Commerce and the Owen County Foundation has already has agreed to help and I have been working with them. I think it's very important that we let everybody know about 9/11, what happened on that day, and it could happen again. Look at what our country is in now. And my thing is that we lost one of our young men at 19 years old, and I would like to honor him.
Well, I think what you've put together is outstanding. Obviously, we never want to forget 9/11, how important that is to us. And I'm all in favor of it. Any comment from you, gentlemen?
And then I'm in favor of it too.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and ask for a motion for approval of this event. And again, thank you for what you're doing. And obviously, we do have a policy about flags, banners, so on and so forth on the courthouse lawn that will be waived during this period, and just ask that they be removed at a prompt time.
Okay, I do know the farm to table is that evening, and I thought it would be nice if those flags are still up there in the yellow ribbon for that event, and I will make sure that they are gone the next day.
As long as we have the courthouse lawn cleaned back up, that's,
Okay, I promise.
and it's not me personally, it's just we have to take care of everyone here, so.
Safety.
I appreciate that.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the event by the VFW Auxiliary Post. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Have a second by Dale. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Jim.
Are you waiving also any?
Any fees? Yes,
fees
yes.
of any kind?
This is not a special event. This is a military ceremony. Does not fall in the same category as a festival, so it will be waived.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, You want that? That was yours, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Keep that one.
Okay.
That wasn't on here.
Mendez, do what, Bob?
That wasn't on here, was it?
No, no, we moved her up there. The executive meeting, just need us to sign off on this, that we, you wanna read that, Jim?
Sure, what I may, Commissioners, you met in an executive session, which is permitted by law under Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-6.1, specifically little b, 2, capital B, for discussion and strategy with respect to initiation of litigation that had been pending or has been threatened, specifically in writing, that did in fact occur. It requires, under the statute, 514-1.5-61D, D is a dog, that there be public notice that was done, and this is a minute before you, and you're just certifying that the governing body, you're certifying the statement that no subject matter was discussed in the executive session other than the subject matter specified in the public notice, and that's what you have in front of you.
Thank you, Jim. Make a motion to approve the executive meeting minutes for July 2nd.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dale allowed to vote?
Do what?
Is Dale allowed to vote?
No, he wasn't here. Just two.
Just two.
Yeah. Just give it back to me. Okay. Tui, Bailey and Moore LLP.
That would be the litigation firm, in respect to executive session, the litigation has been filed against Owen County. No final decision can be nor was made in the executive session. Consideration, Tulip Bailey Moore is representing in this litigation matter. You should have a contract, a letter of engagement before them to notify them of their service. It is timely because motions need to be filed within the next 14 days.
Do I hear a motion to approve the Tui, Bailey and Moore contract?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Dale. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Looks like it just requires one signature. Bob's on the planning commission. Does he need to sign this, or can he sign it, or is it the
Doesn't it have
president?
to be signed in a
He
meeting?
can sign it for planning commission. Okay. Don't know if there's any discussion on the Peters Municipal Consulting.
Only just to update that Peters Municipal Consulting has been approved by your Owen County Council. They have appropriated the number. Peters Municipal Consulting already has a letter of engagement. The only action possibly would be that you just want to continue with the same terms of that letter of engagement.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't vote on approval of that because it was a council.
They already have an engagement, but if you wanted to endorse or just rectify that, you want that letter to continue, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we continue the letter of engagement with Peters Consulting. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second by Bob. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0. EMA, come on up, Jack.
Yeah,
John.
Goes with this.
Got a couple things for you this morning. Are you ready, Gary?
Yep.
Okay, a few weeks ago, I sent everyone an electronic version of the comprehensive emergency management plan. Just some basic updates. Next year is going to be a little more involved. Department of Homeland Security planning has changed some of the, what they call emergency support functions, so, but that's next year. This year, it was a pretty basic update. And if you guys don't have any issues, questions, or concerns with it, I'd like for you to consider signing the promulgation page. It's an IDHS requirement that I do this.
So you need both of these pages signed, one for Jack, one for you? Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve signing of the, how do you say that, promulgation page?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Dale. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Bob. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Got two of them here. Go ahead, Jack.
All right, the next item we have is an update to a completely different plan. It's the hazard mitigation plan. It's much more involved, much more complicated. And the Department of Homeland Security has granted us the money to seek an outside consultant or contractor to assist with this. This plan has to go to FEMA Region 5 in Indianapolis and be approved up there because this plan here keeps us in line for any mitigation money that would be come down from the federal government. A few years ago, the town of Spencer took advantage of this program and bought out several lots here in Spencer that flooded. We may be able to be in line for some money one of these days it's been talked about to redo County Line Road and maybe get it above water so we don't have to close that road every time the river gets about 16 feet. So that's just some project that may fall in line. So we have to keep this plan up to date. And I have in the past used a company called Christopher Burke Engineering. And I've got a contract today in front of you from Christopher Burke Engineering, and it lays out what they will do, what it will cost. And along with that, I also provided you with a copy of the Indiana Department of Homeland Security sub-grant agreement that explains what funding is available, not only available, already been granted to Owen County for that program. And I also provided you with the, where we have been approved for the money.
Is that the grant? That how that gets paid?
Yes, yeah, and there is,
That's $20,000. I just want to make sure I know where it's coming from.
yes, and there is a discrepancy in the amount of money that we're getting for the plan as opposed to what the total cost is. And that will be made up through what we call in-kind work. We'll have a few work sessions and we'll have our emergency responders, we'll have town officials, gospel officials, other county elected and appointed officials to provide input into this plan. And that is how we will get our in-kind, I think it's between $5,000 and $6,000
Additional.
Yeah. I've done this 2 other times in the past and it has worked out just fine.
Jim, have you looked at this?
Yeah, couple things, and nothing contradicting what Jackie just said. It's verified. The total cost of the project is going to be $25,943 from the grant. The cost of the contract for Burke Engineering is $19,457. That's the amount of the grant. But there's a $6,486 difference. That is the in-kind. So the people will need to work with EMA, attend those meetings, be at those sessions. The total cooperation, I'm sure that they will. I don't think that's ever been an issue, but it is mandatory. And that way there will be no actual dollar amount charged to the county. As far as the Burke Engineering, a couple things just for the minutes. This would be, if approved, would be under Indiana Code 5-2261. This is for professional services. And also for ordinance number 2018-02, Owen County Ordinance 2018-02, section 22. That allows commissioners to make a decision based on competence, then if you think this is a fair and reasonable price.
So I'm assuming if you don't raise the rest of that money, you're going to pay the difference out of your pocket?
We'll get it taken care of.
I knew you would. I know you would. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the Burke Engineering agreement? Dale's made the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bob. All in favor? Aye. Jack, and I do have one quick question. If you can give us a quick update on any timeline, any information from Homeland Security, any help that we've got coming, or just kind of give us a quick couple minute update.
Okay, well, as you guys know, I was on vacation last week, so I haven't been able to meet with anybody yet from the Department of Homeland Security. However, those meetings are scheduled for this week. The Recovery Department of Homeland Security is coming down, a lady by the name of Mary Moran, to discuss with me some options. I asked her if the county highway needed to be in that meeting. She said they were welcome, but it was not necessary that they be there. That kind of tells me she's coming down to talk about money. If she was coming down to talk about repairing the roads, she'd want Greg in the room, for sure. So I'm assuming that she's coming down to talk about money. And like I say, I think that just now getting back, it's either tomorrow or Wednesday she's gonna be here. She hasn't given me the time yet, but so I'll be able to provide you more of an update then. I did send the preliminary damage assessment into them last week, and so they have all the information that Greg has provided me, and they are, to inform everybody how this works. In order for us to get a federal declaration, in order for the governor to ask the president for a federal declaration, the state of Indiana has to meet a threshold of so much damage within the state from that event. And there were high wind events tied in with that. The same night, there were 2 or 3 tornadoes in the state of Indiana. We had a lot of flooding, but I do not know if we are going to meet that state threshold to qualify for that. It is pretty high. So I don't have that figure in my head right now either, but the state of Indiana is working with every county right now to try to meet that threshold. One thing that does help, like the REMCs, their damage goes towards that as well, because I can't explain why, but I know from the past that it does. So, the state of Indiana will beat the bushes to try to find all the damage that they can find. Greg done a good job of getting me an estimate that I sent up, and we'll wait to see this week what Mary has to say. That's where we are right now.
Would you want any of us to sit in on that with you, or?
I'd be happy to invite all 3 of you. I know probably all 3 of you can't be there, but I don't know the time yet. She hasn't replied to my email request,
Okay.
giving me a time.
You might send us an email and see if we can be there if possible. I mean, I'd be
Okay.
interested in
I'd
listening.
be happy to do that. So,
Again,
where we are on that one.
okay. Anything else?
I got a couple things. After Sharon Barger got up and left, I went out and met her, and I told her that actually it goes back when Sam was maintenance director. Somebody bought, I don't know who bought it, a 12-foot by 18-foot American flag. And the county had a 10-year remembrance ceremony of 9/11 in 2011. And I still have that flag, so I offered her to get it draped off the north side of the courthouse like we did on the 10-year ceremony, but it will require Garland's help.
Yep.
So you guys are okay with that?
If you want to go ahead and contact him, I'm sure he'll probably need a bucket truck from the highway. So yeah, I'll let you coordinate that, and if we need to get involved, have him get a hold of us.
Last time, I think Sam and I just hung it off from the roof, right, Sam?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Okay.
it worked out pretty good.
Well, it'd be a 2-man job, and I don't think Garland can do it by himself, so, yeah.
We'll get him the help he needs. Seemed like I had one other fairly minor thing, but I can send you an email if I remember that. So thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
For both those items for me.
Okay, Sam,
Oh, boy,
your turn.
I don't think that, yeah, I don't have any good news. Sorry.
We've kind of been expecting it.
Yeah. Contacted us last week, the chiller at the jail, is on its last leg. We've been knowing about this for several years. We turned in a couple quotes, I think back in 18. Over at when I was maintenance supervisor, it was one of the projects, I told them that we needed to take care of within the next 5 years. Well, Commander Snodgrass is here to verify. It went down, the temperature got up to like 82 degrees in the jail, which, if anybody understands, that's a no-no. We don't have to go into that, but, the commander was in touch with HFI, they're the ones that does our mechanical work. They come out, as a matter of fact, they've been out most of the weekend, just to keep it up and running. It's losing the refrigerant inside the barrel, the barrel's bad. It's outdated, you can't get parts for it, so I'm gonna ask that the commissioner deem this an emergency. We have to get a new chiller installed like yesterday. If it goes completely down, temperature rises back into jail like it is, stays that way, you'll be moving prisoners. We don't wanna do that, so, we have located one, 75-ton chiller, which is what we have down there, type of replacement. I need you guys' approval. We've got 2 quotes on it. One's 84,000, one's 94,000. Give or take, I can't got it in front of me. I guess I told you. But, we need to move on this now. I need to make a phone call to get this chiller moved to the jail. It's gonna take 48 hours to do it. That means 48 hours, we're not gonna have any air conditioning in the jail. So commander's gotta prepare for that. I know he's been resetting the chiller about every hour and a half.
January 1st to yesterday morning, 8 o'clock, 36 times.
I'd say it's an emergency, yeah.
We got the money in the correctional facility money to pay for this, and like I said, I'm gonna talk to the inmates, and I'm sure the commander's already talked to the inmates about what, I want you to prove this, what we're gonna do, so they understand that we're gonna take care of the situation because
HFI's the ones got it.
I'm just waiting on you, you got 2 quotes.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch with Jim here real quick so we can speak about the emergency situation, before we move forward. Go ahead, Jim.
So, Sheriff, I'm gonna, thank you for pointing it out, but if you don't mind,
Yes,
I
sir.
just wanna verify. So I'm asking you some questions under 522.10.4
Yes, sir.
about emergency. In your opinion, does this constitute a direct threat to the public health, welfare, and safety of the inmates and to your jail staff?
Yes, sir.
And what emergency, what detriment, if the temperature, as silly as this question is, if it got up to 95, 100, 105, what concerns do you have about the health and safety of your staff and inmates?
Commander, you will address it for you.
Well, first and foremost is the health issues with the inmates. The general population of the jail is not individuals who take care of their health. Most of them are in bad health, not bad health, have health issues. So then you get into breathing issues, and the health issues. Beyond that, then you get into the behavioral issues because they get very unhappy very quick and they're very demanding and cause problems. And they're set up and then endanger the staff also. And then the staff is the same way. They're very working inside of boxes, 95 degrees. So again, it's a health and safety issue for the staff as well.
Commissioners, under Indiana Code 522.10-4A, and for the minutes, if there's an emergency condition and there's a direct threat to the public health, welfare, and safety, then a special purchase can be made with competition as practical. You have a factual basis that the heat, it's very, obviously, many of the inmates come in there could have issues with alcohol, with drugs, multiple health conditions. The staff could lead to serious health injuries or even death of an inmate or even a staff member. So it would satisfy the conditions of emergency. So that's part one. So the first part would be that the board, if so desired, would declare that this would be an emergency situation. Then as far as looking at purchases, we have to comply with 522.10.4 and also 36.1.12.9. But I'll wait for that until after you declare emergency.
Okay, at this time, I'm gonna make a motion and a request that we deem this an emergency for the jail. Do I hear a motion of that effect?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Dale, deemed an emergency. Do I hear a second? Second by Bob, all in favor? Aye. We do have two quotes here, and I'll let Jim continue at this time.
Sure. Now, Commissioners, I may belabor this, but this is a purchase of supplies. So this triggers 5-22-10-4A. The jail is also a public construction area. So Indiana Code 36-112-9 also must be satisfied. So the basis of this for the auditor, what will be needed here, if the commissioners approve one of these two quotes, this has to be in a special file. This would be an emergency declaration of emergency. It's the reason for the special purchase under those statutes 522-10-4 and 36-112-9. There would need to be a requirement of receiving two quotes. It does not have to be advertised or bidded out because of the emergency nature. This needs to be in a special file. It will need to have the contractor's name that is selected, the amount and type of the contract, and description of the supply that's being purchased. Do have two quotes. Those do need to be read out loud for your consideration. So I'll do that. The first one is from HFI, Mechanical Building. It's in essence to an emergency chiller replacement for the jail. It has the inclusions and exclusions. The total price is $85,000 even. It's to recover refrigerant, dispose of the chiller, install a Quantec 75-ton chiller, install the plated frame, do the electrical, piping, insulate piping, factory startup, miscellaneous materials, refrigerant, shipping and delivery, labor, and a 5-year factory. That's HFI, Harold Fish Incorporated, and the price is $85,000. Family heating and air conditioning. Family heating and air conditioning is the second quote. They're out of Indianapolis. Again, recovery for all refrigerant, remove and dispose the existing, install a new quadrant, 75-ton, install heat exchanger, piping, electrical connect disconnect, all standard materials included, factory startup, R410, all labor and shipping, and 5-year factory warranty. It does appear that the inclusions are identical, so you're bidding the exact product. This quote is for $94,000. HFI, $85,000. Family heating and air conditioning, $94,000.
Thank you, Jim. All right, gentlemen. Obviously, HFI is the lowest bidder. Also the company that we use here locally. So at this time, I'm going to ask for a motion for approval of the HFI agreement for the new chiller at $85,000.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Dale. Do I hear a second?
Second it.
I have a second by Bob. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Sam, I would say call them immediately and get the thing going. So
We'll have the commander take care of that right now. He's been in touch with HFI, and I want to thank Bill for he working on it the weekend just to keep this up and running.
yeah, thank you for that, Bill, and good luck with the 2 days down, and
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
appreciate it, guys.
I'm paying for it from correctional facility.
Gillette, yep.
Yeah.
So we'll have to eventually catch up with an additional appropriation, because there's not,
Yeah.
Nothing's appropriated out of that money,
right, so
so
we'll have to,
that is correct.
so I'll put it on the council. Okay,
Got more, not, I got more bad news, but not as bad as the chiller. The DVR, that monitors our cameras went down over the weekend. That's where we see the inmates when we're setting up at our control desk. It went down, the bill was in, once again, called fourth phase. Bill called me, and I said, we gotta do something because you gotta be able to see the inmates, so, I'll let Bill take over and explain what fourth phase does and what we're gonna need in addition.
So, basically, the camera system in the jail, the cameras themselves, half of them are probably the original cameras from when the jail was built in 1987, other half have been added. But those cameras all run through what's called DVRs, which are recorders. And off of those recorders, it lets you watch them in a couple of locations in the facility. One of the things that's a real problem in that facility is it's a linear built jail, which means you can't look into the cells physically without walking through the halls and opening a little glass window that's, hazing old and that's 30 years old. So you can't see in the cell, so you rely on your cameras. So one of the DVRs, there's actually 5 of the DVR units in the facility. They, I think, were replaced around 2006, maybe. They're computers, they're old. We're living. One of them quit yesterday. The one that quit yesterday is the one that shows 8 of the 10 cell blocks. So that one went out, we couldn't see in the cell blocks. So then we're faced with, okay, we have to monitor these cell blocks in person. And with our current staffing restrictions we have, I only have 2 people on duty. One has to be in control, one's on the floor. So I got one person to basically physically monitor 60 people by walking around constantly. Not feasible, not a good idea, definitely a safety issue. So what we ended up doing is we took one DVR that had less essential cameras on it and put it in place with at least seeing the cells, and got that up as of about 11 o'clock last night. So right now I'm running on 4, one according to Jim from 4th phase is dead, is done. So at a minimum, I need to buy a new one, at a minimum. The problem with those DVRs is they're so old, when the hard drive's gonna get full, it just dumps. So you lose any historical data you have. Not a good situation. And with the age of those DVRs, then more may fail. And I don't know what caused it to fail yesterday, when it did fail, but it failed whenever the air conditioning was out and my server room was like 95 degrees. And heat is an issue. Right. So we've got that issue, and that's also would be more bad news. When we do this chiller swap, that server room is going to get very, very, very hot. And our servers that run entire public safety, communications, jail, everything are in that room. So I don't know how we're going to deal with that either. That something to be done there, and like yesterday. And that's a huge issue that I know Kathleen's talked about, worked on, whatever. It hasn't happened yet. It's technical stuff that has to happen also. So
We dealt with that problem here at the courthouse in the IT room last year. We did something for a few days to keep that thing cool. We'll have to get those people back together and see what we can come up with there.
If it's all right with the commissioners, because it's the chiller, it's all kind of run the same. I'm gonna check with HFI today, see if they have any type of portable air unit that they can put in that room for 2 or 3 days. If we've got a pipe through the ceiling or whatever.
I think that's kind of what we did down there until they got the new unit installed. They hooked something up outside to keep us cool. So yeah, that would be important.
So we'll have to do that before we shut that chiller completely down.
And Bill, I got that call last night at 10 o'clock about what you're talking about with the DVR system. And I've been brought up to date that what we have is obsolete. Jim explained that you can't just go out and buy a DVR and hook it up to the system because it's that old, we're outdated. I talked to Sam about this morning. I'm not trying to cut you off and just let you know where I'm at with what I know. Talked to Sam, and we're obviously gonna have to get quotes for a new system, a complete new system. I've been told that it's an NVR now instead of a DVR, whatever that might be. So anyway, we'll start looking at that. And again, funding wise, I think that that's probably a jail-lit funding situation. So again, money's there to cover this problem. We just need to take care of the problem.
And I do ask them, we're going to go ahead and buy another DVR to replace the one that they took out last night, because it does monitor other cameras and stuff, and that's a safety issue. So
Just check with IT, make sure it's compatible with whatever it is that we're doing for the time being.
that's where we're at. That's all the good news I got for you guys.
Nothing else. Guys, thanks a lot, and hopefully we'll get you cooled down and get your cameras back up and running here real soon.
Letters.
Feasibility letter?
Yep.
Oh,
Jail feasibility letter. Go ahead, Jim.
Commissioners, you, approximately 2 to 3 weeks ago, I believe, RQAW, Garmont Construction, came in and presented to you, different, construction costs, the new jail project. Pursuant to Indiana Code 361819, it's mandatory that the jail feasibility study be done. So I want to be real crystal clear. RQAW has prepared a feasibility study with Garmont, the sheriff's input. This is nothing to suggest that's incompatible or anything was done incorrect, not at all. This is a theory about measuring twice, cutting once, and just that there's a specific code of 361819 that the feasibility study must include the feasibility of housing inmates in a county jail of another county on a multi-county jail established by 2 counties, either or. To my understanding, the multi-county jail received little, maybe one response, and I believe that response was pretty much adamant no as far as a regional. This is just a verification, or any of the surrounding counties considering or open to the possibility of housing inmates in their particular jail. So this is totally just to be in compliance with 361819, specifically the first element of that. These are letters that are prepared. If they meet your approval, they would go to Clay County, Greene County, Hendricks County, Monroe County, Morgan County, and Putnam County to make that inquiry. But the sheriff, Garmont, RQW, full statutory duties. This is just extra because at some point there is going to be a requirement for a public hearing, public notice, and a feasibility study. And I'm sure one of the questions, and a very legitimate question, the statutory question is, can any of these other jails house any of these people? This is to exhaust that possibility. So this would just be for approval. If they meet with the approval, respectively, they could go out by the auditor's office today, and then we'll just see what, if any, response is received.
Thank you, Jim, and you're exactly right. If we answer that question now, when it comes to public hearing, we've got that information. Do I hear a motion for approval of the letter to go out to the surrounding counties to possibly accept prisoners if need be in the future?
I make that motion.
I've got a motion by Bob.
I'll second.
I have a second by Dale. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Jim. You said it was 6 surrounding counties?
The 6 surrounding counties, and you're gonna make sure that you'll be able to send, I'll send those out sometime this week, and we'll just, and I'll report back if there's any response.
All right, thank you, Jim. Anything else from the sheriff department?
Oh, I think that's enough for today.
Thank you.
Highway department. I know you got a lot going on, Greg.
Gentlemen, I know we had community crossing bids and things today, but I'm going to start with flood. Worked with Jack in preparing cost estimates. These are what I believe to be extremely accurate at the time, although the list grows. We keep finding other projects and undermining issues. I have 44 culverts, large culverts that need replaced at a cost of $1,026,066. Have culvert repair, 33 of those, which isn't counted in the 44, of $108,982. I have 3 bridges that are in dire need of repair. When I sent this in those 3, $828,000. 7 bridges in need of repair, $128,160. Bridge inspections, gentlemen, cost me $49,500. Emergency road repairs, the washouts, $598,000. Have mudslide mitigations of $258,700 and machine rental at $101,060, and then an emergency overtime, I paid $7,500. These estimates come to $1,106,000, $106,068.
Do you have a copy of that for us, Greg, or can you
I do, I'll provide it to you.
send it to us an email? Can I ask you a quick question? What damage have we turned into Jack so far for him to deal with?
He has all of this.
He has the exact same numbers,
He has
okay.
all of this. In regard to the mudslide mitigations, I am working with the soil and water in regard to those. And I'm working, I've had 3 different bridge companies out to look at the bridges to get some kind of information back to you, but the bridges are rather difficult to deal with. Now, I think the bridges in regard to the 3 I spoke to you about, it's been determined that one of them is an absolute have to replace, and that's the bridge on Server Road. I've got that bridge number somewhere. The other 2 out of the 3 bridges can be repaired.
And we still have 3 bridges closed?
Yes. So that being said, my Coombe Bridge money is exhausted. There is none there. When people ask me when I think those bridges will get replaced, I think it's an honest estimate, 2 years.
Yeah, with what we have now and the Kelly Bridge project will pretty well exhaust that fund.
Then, the next situation, as you all know, when told to cut budget, I cut 7 summer employees last year. I followed the guidelines of the council, looked at my numbers, and I laid 2 employees off last week. I also have a laborer's position that I did not fill, and I have a part-time truck driver that will opt out in 2 weeks because he goes back to school. I really believe, looking at my 1176 numbers, gentlemen, I need to lay off 1 more person. Not good news. Commissioner Burton asked me the other day, why were things so good in 19 and 20 and now they're not good? Well, I can tell you they were never good. We didn't have the proper information. Just prior to me, and I reaped the benefits of it, but there was $1.5 million worth of equipment bought for the highway department. Not that it wasn't needed, but Lord, tell me where that $1.5 million came from my budget. I would love to have it back in it now.
Well, we'd like to think, Greg, that was supposed to be from the fuel tax increase that particular year by 10 cents. That was what it was supposed to have been.
Well, I can tell you this, we don't get $1.5 million in fuel tax increase anywhere.
Exactly.
I just have to look at these real numbers and tell you that, gentlemen, you're gonna have to make a choice here in just a minute in regard to, am I gonna pave roads with community crossing money and put other things on hold? Or am I gonna make these repaired and send $971,000 back to the state of Indiana?
Well,
So that will be a job for the commissioners because that is far and above my pay grade, but I want you to know that my budget is that grim right now with what I'm faced with $3.1 million worth of damage and nowhere to get that money other than hope that it comes out of emergency management. You've got some tough decisions ahead of you. That being said, Jim and I have worked together. And when you walk into my office, I have 3 dry erase boards. And Rachel, my administrative assistant, and I work those numbers every day so we know exactly where we are. When Jen came in today with the numbers, that he got from the auditor, we were spot on with what we had. So I am not being the grim reaper here. Jim will tell you that, it's one or the other. Jim, would you like to?
Commissioner, not just for a bunch of numbers, but just to kind of give you an idea of the financial picture. First of all, I'll be crystal clear, all of the highway accounts have a positive number, okay? Despite everything that's been thrown at the highway, 76, 73, and 69 are all positive, which is, I'll put my opinion, absolutely incredible. So for 69 is the local road and street. These are historical averages going back for about the past 6 months to have an idea of what the revenue stream is. Surtax in June said 1169 received approximately $62,000. That's actually a little bit above the average. The other revenue that comes in is consistent, 36,000. So you're looking at right at about $100,000 that comes into local road and street. After the claims were approved today, the highway department has in stone, they have an appropriation of $350,000. They have a bituminous appropriation of $350,000. After the claims were paid today, out of the appropriation left, there's only $2,000, a little more than that, left in stone. That's like over $20,000 left in bituminous. That's it. The $700,000 has been appropriated, has been spent, up into about $24,000 left over. Their cash balance after the claims are paid is $195,540. So that's how much is left in there. $195,540. 1173 is the restricted. There were no payments out of that in the month of June. That right now has approximately $200,000 in that fund. 1176 was the working fund that the highway department used for the month of June. It has revenue, it makes the MVH distribution, which is half, of 127. They have what I would call some minimal amounts in 5 other categories, but the revenue stream in June 21 was $128,083. That's how much came in. The payroll for highway, appointed, regular, FICA, per overtime, was $94,000. A revenue stream of $128,000. The payroll, meaning payroll, took $94,000 out of that. Gas, oil, lube, repair, contract services, utilities, etc., and group insurance made the total expenditures out of 1176, $211,000 was expended. That leaves a balance in 76 of about $20,000. I mean, in that range. So 20,000, 200,000, 195,000 are your existing cash balances. All three of those have revenue stream. So, but looking ahead, if you use the historical projection of the past 6 months, you would expect the 1176 will have approximately $768,000 of additional revenue coming in, and a balance of 20,000. However, there are 3 future expenses that have already been appropriated but have not been spent. Workman's comp is $40,000, liability match is $84,500, and the grant match for this project that you'll be considering in a few minutes is $250,000, $250,000. That totals $374,000. So I think from the highway, from these numbers, that's what we verified this morning. If you're expecting $768,000 to come in, $374,000 has been earmarked. That leaves $394,000 left in 1176 for the rest of the year. You're going to expect about $100,000 for coming in, so about $600,000 at local road and street, and you would have a revenue stream also of about $127,000 per month going into 1173. So the $250,000 required for the grant match would require that in addition to his budget, the highway department needs to start saving $50,000 at a regular basis to have the money for October. So payroll of $94,000, $50,000 worth of savings. That'd be $144,000. That'd be one of your revenue streams. That would be the two revenue streams.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but gentlemen, I want you to know, we had prepared transfers to transfer the community crossing money over at the next council meeting. But and I'm faced with this, because every meeting we talk about, although my budget is good and I can work out of it, every time that it's announced in the meetings that the county's broke, my vendors see that. I am a cash and carry department with 3 of my vendors now. So I have to pay for it up front, although I've got money in my budget to pay for it. So I had to take, I don't want shut off from the queries, which is coming every time we announce that. So I don't run them past every claim cycle, it's boom. So I was unable to transfer that money this time because I had to work this flood. So every ounce of stone that I bought is paid for. But this keeps going on. I don't know if the other guys are running into it, but I will have no credit, none. And the highway department's paying its bills.
Yeah, it's a shame. It is. I could sit up here and talk for.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's included, but that gives you just kind of a portrait of that they are in positive balance. Those are realistic numbers for your projected revenue.
Yeah, and if we need to send out a letter, I'll be happy to sign it to assure that your vendors will be paid out of your department. You're right, these public meetings, social media, all this different things derive to these problems. And your department is solid, Chris's department's solid. It is not affected by the general budget, but it affects you doing business, and that's too bad.
And because we've seen that there was a budget issue, we followed suit and we laid employees off in order to correct our funds. We were given permission to do so. Now, I do expect, and I know that Sam has, but I expect everybody else to follow suit if I did it, and if Sam did it.
Well, you're down, I mean, you're 10 employees down on a normal basis.
Yes.
With your 7 part-time and your 3 that you're missing, which means production of the highway department is down. We're not getting roads mowed, we're not getting holes patched. Obviously, we're fighting whole other issues here.
The mowers never shut down unless they're broke down, but the mowers are out moving. But the only hole patching that's going on is with the injection hole patch machines, because that's what I have labor to do and to work with. So 3 guys and 3 truck drivers are out every day with the injection hole patchers, but where we used to have the pothole blitz, where I shut the whole place down and we patch potholes, I've also been unable to do that, gentlemen, because we were gonna do that this morning. That was my full intentions to start the pothole blitz. But if you approve the community crossings, you need to understand, when I did the last pothole blitz, I spent $100,000 in potholes in Owen County. So I need direction from the commissioners definitively today where you want my money to go.
Well, we can't talk about this all day, but we do need to discuss it. The county needs to move forward in a positive direction, and having more roads with potholes doesn't make sense to me. If we can repair or pave, what do we got, 7 miles of road, 8 miles of road total?
That's correct.
Somewhere in that ballpark. And this is just totally my opinion, and we'll get discussions from other ones here. That's making progress instead of continuing to patch holes. We're not gaining a thing by doing that, in my opinion. That money's gonna be spent one way or the other. So are we gonna put it into patching holes or paving roads? That's kind of what you're laying on us here today, right?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Gentlemen, you have any discussion on this? Your opinions?
I agree with you. Better to build the whole road rather than just keep patching. People keep complaining.
We are going to continue to get calls and complaints about chuck holes and conditions of roads. We do every day. My phone never stops ringing. I'm sure yours does not either. I know Greg's doesn't. But again, it just makes more sense to cover a whole lot of potholes at one time than a handful here and there. And what I mean by that is paving the roads. We're taking care of a whole bunch of potholes. Dale, you got anything?
The only problem is a mile of potholes replaced with a mile of pavement. There's a big difference in price.
There is. But while we're not paving roads, those pothole roads are still falling apart. But am I right, Greg?
You're right.
If we eliminate that, and what we've seen in past with roads that we've paved, it's given us, in the short time I've been here, and I know Greg's been here before I have, but these roads that we've paved, we're not going back out and maintaining those. We're not putting any money back into them at this time. So that's saving us a little bit in reality.
What's the lifetime on our roads that we pave? 10 years, 15?
Yeah, probably if you do absolutely no maintenance to them, but I mean, I presented to the board, fog sealing, going back and doing crack sealing, which is something that we've not done. But, you know, we could get a lot more life expectancy out of the road if we take care of the new road that we put down. And it's something we're not doing because we haven't focused on maintenance of these asphalt roads. We put the new asphalt down and then we don't return to them. I mean, we've run some tests on roads that we fog sealed. The commissioner's given me a little bit of latitude over the last few years, and I can take to a road that we fogged or a road that we went back and put some rejuvenation to it. We've added 5 more years to these roads. Now, we did them in some obscure places and on some short stretches, but you all go to the town of Patricksburg. We ran a test out there last year with a rejuve and then a sand and a seal over top of it, and that road straightened right back up. So you're gonna have to take care of your investment when you put it down.
And that's probably get into money ties our hands. I mean, it's obvious we're not bringing in enough revenue countywide to support our county functions. I mean, it's pretty simple. It doesn't matter if it's your department, EMS, sheriff department, the revenue's not there to support what we're trying to get done. That has to change as well. Are you ready for us to make a decision on this right now so we can move forward with the people?
My facts aren't gonna change, commissioners. Jim and I have been over these. I mean, I've told you.
We're gonna spend this $250,000.
I've told you time and time again in regard to the money constraints. I mean, it doesn't make a difference whether it's today or it's a month from now. The one problem I do have is if you're going to move forward on the community crossings, you need to do that because I have timelines. I have timelines to be under contract, and that time approaches. There's not time to rebid anything I've given you the facts in regards to the finances, but if I'm gonna move forward with community crossings, then I just need to move forward because that hour is here. I will tell you, and again, I don't mind being the bearer of bad news because I have to do that budget. But if I do send back the $971,000, that could have went to another community. Don't count on getting it again for several years. I just want to tell you that.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
But it makes no difference to me because things would be much easier if you let me send it back.
Got any other scenarios, Greg? I mean, gee, Christmas.
Sorry.
Went from bad to bad.
If without the flood, we would have been in a whole different situation. But with this, Jack and I have done this before. I really don't expect to get any money.
I think you're right.
I mean, we have talked with, state politicians. We know that a representative from the governor's office has been here, which I think is more than we got in 2019. But I do not believe, I mean, that's just my opinion. If it doesn't meet the state threshold,
Well,
we're out of luck. And maybe it will. I mean, we're at $3.1 million, and if the state threshold's 15, yeah, it'll probably meet it, but if the state threshold's 50, then it probably won't.
yeah, it's a bad situation. And, you know, again, how hard is the state looking at us because of the financial condition that we're in? If they threw money at us, are we able to manage it? You know, I mean, that's a question to be asked. I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we proceed with the community crossings. And the reason I'm making this motion is that paving these roads is progress. And it doesn't matter how we spend this $250,000, if we put it in potholes or we pave roads. We're in a no-win situation here, but at least we're making progress. That's the way I see it. And that's a long motion, but basically it is to proceed with the community crossings. Do I hear a second?
I second that motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
And I will say largely part of that decision is the fact of sending back $961,000 to the state makes a horrible situation and doesn't make sense to me.
Commissioners, with that, if there's no other further business before we open the bids, is that our next?
That is, we're still on the community crossings, correct, Greg?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, there are 2 sealed bids. These bids are sealed both ways. There's a seal on the outside from Milestone Contractors located in Bloomington, Indiana. And there is a sealed bid from E&B Paving from Bloomington, Indiana. At 9 o'clock, there was a check by the auditor. It was personally announced outside, and then I believe there was even an inspection done of the mailboxes. Is that correct, Yvonne? These are the only 2 bids that were received. By Indiana law, these must be opened in a public meeting, and they must be read out loud. I will do so. The first one I'm opening from is the Milestone. A few things I have to check first. Okay, Milestone one does use the forms. So I'm going to separate the bid proposal just for now. Verify. Total price. Here. Okay, they have filled out, and there's oath and affirmation, acknowledgement. They have filled out what was called the Owen County Highway addendum. That is completely filled out. There is their security bid bond. Pre-qualification letter. Authorization by the They have filled out their employment eligibility certification. Non-collusion affidavit that has been notarized. Drug-free workplace. They have completed the Form 96. They have filled out prior experience and questionnaires for projects.
I'm gonna write on mine.
Supplemental. Contractor's financial statement is enclosed. It's been signed and notarized, which is also proper. Packet. applications. The E-Verify affidavit is also been completed, qualifications, and then all certificates from production, transportation. Drug-free workplace has been completely filled out and notarized. And then per they've included the program and all the documentation. Commissioners, the milestone has met all of the technical requirements and they have used the forms. So with that, reading here on their bid proposal. This bid proposal is for project starting with Colrose Road. Colrose Road has one section. It is from State Road 67 to Jones Road. The price per ton laid, $64.50. Their total bid price, $338,625. Repeating for Colrose Road, price per ton laid, $64.50. Total bid price, $338,625. Walden Road. Walden Road is in one section. Their price per ton laid, $61.50. $61.50. Their total price for Walden Road, $196,800. $196,800. Again, repeating, price per laid, $61.50, total price, $196,800. There are 6 sections of Steubenville Road, starting with section 1, price per ton laid, $63.95. Section 1, $63.95. Total price, $110,313.75. $110,313.75. Section 2, Briarley Road to Porter Road, price per ton laid, $63.95. $63.95. Total price, $36,707.30. Section 3, Porter Road to Stockton Road, price per ton laid, $63.95. $63.95. Total price, $117,284.30. Stockton Road, section 4, Stockton Road to Shortline Road, price per ton laid, $63.95. $63.95. Total price, $82,687.35. Section 5, Short Line Road to Hauser Road, price per ton laid, $63.95. $63.95. Total price, $121,249.20. $121,249.20. And then Hauser Road to Keith Road, price per ton laid, $63.95. Total price, $142,416.65. $142,416.65. And then on their total combined, they have, did a total for Steubenville Road. The total price for Steubenville Road, these 6 sections, $610,658.55. So milestone for Culver's Road, total $338,625. Total price for Walden, $196,800. And for Steubenville Road, $610,658.55. Bid package for milestone. Second bid package, EB paving, sealed, back. Paving, is used, forms is required. Then Form 96 is completed. And it is signed and it is notarized. Drug testing, signed and sealed. Employment eligibility, signed, seal on it. They have completed the non-collusion affidavit. It has been notarized and it has been signed. The Owen County addendum is enclosed here. The signature page, notarized and has been signed. The domestic spill affidavit is also notarized and signed. Bid proposal, all of that, and they have used the proper forms. They have the bid bond at 10%. Okay. Bylaws, financial statement is enclosed. Questionnaire, completed out with references and projects. Certificate of liability. All financial documents that are required have been provided. Documentation, drug-free workflows. Categories, standard bid packet. JJ would also be considered, they have complied with the responsive requirements and technical requirements of the bid. Therefore, this is EB paving, bid proposal. Price per ton wage, this is for project 1, Colrose Road. $70 per ton, so price per ton laid, $70. Total price, $367,500. Colrose Road, one section, $70 price per ton laid, total price, $367,500. Walden Road, one section, price per ton laid, $66.90. $66.90. Total price, $214,080. $214,080. Steubenville Road is in 6 sections. Read all 6. Section 1. Gifford to Byerly Road, price per ton laid, $72.25. $72.25. Total price, $124,631.25. Section 1, $124,631.25. Section 2, Briarwood Road to Porter Road, price per ton laid, $72.25. $72.25. Total price, $40,695.25. $40,695.25. Section 3, price per ton laid for the surface wedge and level, $72.25. $72.25. Price per ton laid for the level only section of 326 is $70. $70. Total bid price for Porter Road, $131,773. $131,773. Stockton Road to Shoreline Road, section 4, price per ton laid, $72.25. $72.25. Total price, $93,419.25. $93,419.25. Section 5, Short Line Road to Hauser Road, price per ton laid, $72.25. $72.25. Total price, $136,986. $136,986. Section 6, Hauser Road to Keith Road, for price per ton laid for surface, wedge, and level, $72.25. $72.25. Price per ton laid for level only, $70. $70. Total price, $160,754.50. $160,754.50. So I'm still on that. Those are the two bidders, and those are the two bid proposals.
What was the total on the,
They did not,
they didn't,
okay.
total, okay. Anybody write all that down? What's the total on that one, Janet? I was lazy and expected the total at the end and that didn't happen, so.
The bid proposals for both are on top. On the
Thank you,
top
Jim.
of those here.
Okay.
I think it's $688, $59.25. $688,259.25. I'll double check that again.
Yeah, Greg and Rachel are working on it as well. Come up with a grand total of 1.26.
Gentlemen, I'll just go ahead and speak while she's running the numbers. And just off what I could add up myself and tonnage wise, I can tell you that I am under budget in regard to milestones with bid. When you get the final numbers, I've worked with Milestone before, I've worked with Shannon Brock. I would ask that if you're going to accept the bid, you accept that. And it is the lowest and it is under projected original project cost, which is a money savings to us.
Milestone,
Yes.
okay. I just, the figure
Total for the whole
164
project
is
under E and B is, $1,269,839.25.
What I got.
She's re-adding the milestone one right now.
I got it added up, it's $1.146,075.
I asked that you accept the milestone.
Yeah, it looks like that matching amount's 185 instead of the 250 based on that revenue.
That is correct. That is a huge situation for us.
Yes, it is.
We can match Milestone for all the money we got.
Yeah.
That going in the hole.
All right, gentlemen, out of the two bidders, obviously Milestone is the lesser bid. They've done work for us in the county before and did an outstanding job last year on these community crossings and have done so on other roads that they have worked on for us. Do I hear a motion to approve Milestone for the community crossings at this time?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Dale. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Bob. All in favor? Aye. Milestone is the award.
You have a number of documents and you have your notice to award, to proceed, documents on the actual contract. that could be signed by highway and then also by the contractor.
I think Sheila's got everything here for us, ready to go, and before we leave here, we'll make sure that we get that taken care of.
Can we have Rachel read her number just so see if they verify?
Yeah, that's fine.
The total for milestone, 1,028,799.25. EMB, $1,269,839.25.
My number is different.
Yeah, I've got different milestone
Mine
numbers.
is $1,146,083.55, so it should be.
On milestone,
I think
It's all kinds of different
Now,
numbers.
gentlemen, jumping outside community crossings, if I can speak while she's doing the figures, I have laid the cold hard facts out to you today in regard to the financing. And this is a tough one, Jim will probably want to kill me for this one, but I would like to see how finances are. But if the numbers would come in somewhere in this neighborhood, I would like to put for bid the rest of Stockton Road and see if we can afford it. I mean, we may not be able to, but you'll never get it paid for that kind of money again.
And that was about 1.1 miles, I think we
Yes,
figured, okay.
Greg, I apologize, just the name of the road, you wrote Steubenville or Stockton?
Steubenville, excuse me, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah,
The rest is-
Just to finish it,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, the rest is Steubenville.
And that took it all the way to 246, if I'm not
That is
mistaken.
correct.
Yeah.
And the reason we didn't have it on the grant was because we spread the wealth out in all the commissioners'
what
districts.
was the number you had for milestone?
$1,146,083.55.
We can go that level.
I'm using mine for some.
Need a motion to add that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for her to get her number.
Repeat your number one more time.
$1,146,083.55.
Yep, that's what I got.
Okay.
I got that on my iPhone, it wasn't calculating,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I gotta watch punching my reading on mine.
$1,146,083.25.
55.
55 cents, excuse me. Okay, that has been approved. Going to make a motion for the highway superintendent to put out for bid the remainder of Stockton, or excuse me, Steubenville Road from Stockton to 246.
No, it's actually from, Keith to 246.
Keith, from Keith Road to 246. Do I hear it?
Gentlemen, I'm sorry, when we do that, it may not be possible, we just have to.
Right, we gotta put it out for bid to see where we're at. It may not mean anything, but at least we looked at the option. Do I hear that motion?
Make that motion.
Got a motion by Dale, second.
Second.
Second by Bob, all in favor? Aye.
2 weeks unreasonable to get all those documents.
That's more, yeah, that's plenty of time, and there's no big hurry on this because these projects are just getting started. It's something, if it does happen, they can throw it on the end of the, I don't know how they're gonna do their work schedule. That's gonna be the bigger of the project. That may be the last one they do, not the first one, I don't know, so.
And then the representative for Milestone, after this meeting, that you will have all the notice to proceed, notice to award, because those have to be signed.
As long as I'm not facing the parking ticket, I'm gonna be happy.
Oh, brought you back one day.
So that would be.
Is there anything else, Greg?
No, as usual, commissioners, we have, just to make everyone aware, so the public is aware, every year, the Owen County Fair Board allows the highway department to store our summer equipment in their buildings. That's in lieu of work assistance with some equipment, et cetera. This year, due to the lack of amount of employees, to do that, and nobody really wanted to volunteer, we did provide a rower to the fairgrounds and our water truck. And County Councilman Earl Keith is the only one operating those two pieces of equipment, and he is covered by our insurance in case anyone asks, but I did provide the equipment, just no support.
I'm sure your employees have had enough extra hours, so
Well,
I understand.
And just if somebody sees the equipment there.
Thank you for mentioning that in a public meeting, so it's covered.
Councilman Keith is the only one on the machine.
Okay.
And in the truck.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Rachel. Guys, I know we're fighting a battle here, but, all we can do is take it one day at a time. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, we've got a lot to do, someone will excuse.
Yes, no doubt. Don, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up real quick and get you rolling. I know this other thing doesn't take long, but, you've sit here long enough.
It's just like the annual grant, community corrections grant. Each year, we have to write a grant for community corrections. It's the same form. It's just 3 copies of the same thing. We did ask for additional monies. I don't know if we're gonna get any additional monies because, well, we're paying now for more insurance out of like the proactive MD is coming out of there that never came out of there before. Life insurance is coming out of there that's never came out of there before, and any like dental or whatever. So we got about $10,000 more in insurance that we're paying than we did before. So we asked for that in there. The advisory board did by email approve this last week. So it's just the annual grant that we have to send up to the state.
So we had proactive last year, but that didn't show up in this budget. It just automatically appeared this year. I'm trying to get a grasp on that because it's happening in other departments, and I'm not blaming anybody. It's the thing, we weren't doing things right in the past, and now we're trying to, and it's affecting people, their budgets, how they operate. We just went through this with the highway department. They got hit for $90,000 for liability insurance all at one time. Through his accounts in the red. We've got to make sure that going forward at budget hearings, these things are broke down. And I don't mean to make a big, long, drawn out, but again, it affects how you do business. And you need to know that before you get there. All right. Do I hear a motion to approve the, what do we have this down as, the probation community corrections grant? Jim, you've looked at this, right? You have not seen it? You want to take a quick peek?
All that is the letter.
Yeah, it's just a letter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, just simply a letter. That's, don't issue any kind.
Just want to make sure that everything is good by everyone. Do I hear a motion to approve signature of this grant?
Yeah, I'll make that one.
A motion, motion by Dale, second by Bob. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I'll sign one of these and Sheila can get copies to whoever they need to go to. How's that?
That's perfect.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, gonna jump back to the covered bridge certificate, and from all indications in the time I've been here, the county has no covered bridges. We just need to verify that with a signature from the auditor. Is that correct? And the commissioners as well, yeah. Any other comment by anyone on this?
We have no covered bridges.
We have no covered bridges.
Last one, freedom.
So I make a motion to approve signature on the bridge certification. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Bob, all in favor? Aye. Looks like there's 2 pages of this, gentlemen, front and back. There you go. Okay, annual budget estimates. Jim, do you want to touch on that real quick?
Sure, it kind of being confusing in a way. There's 2 things from the commissioners. One is the commissioners have their actual budget, and you also would be supervising or receiving the actual budgets of your appointees. However, there's a second part, and it's under Indiana Code 36257, that the Board of Commissioners will prepare an itemized estimate in 14 different categories to be presented to County Council. So you should have today, most of them, hopefully all of them, from the Highway Department, myself, Maintenance Department, Health Department, Auditor, Elections, Sheriff, Assessor, Public Defender. I think the Public Defender, if I recall, just sent me an email here in like the last 20 minutes with this. And then any other areas itemized. What you're doing there is presenting a packet to the County Council, and these are estimates of what you think these expenses are in these 14 key categories.
And I know that we started working on this a couple weeks ago, make sure everybody had a copy of the letter. I think Sheila's probably received all of those. Again, Public Defender I had not spoke to, so
Just send it in.
how are we doing on everybody else?
Did Greg give you anything?
He did not, other than this right here, and I'm assuming that that's what that is. It's not his budget, it's his road and bridge plan for next year, and that's what it
Okay.
required.
That's, yeah.
So it does fall in those guidelines, yes. Something that we haven't done in the past is this right here. Don't know why, but anyway, we're gonna do business like it's supposed to have been done, so we're doing this. It'll be something that I'll present to the council. I don't know if we're gonna put this on their 20th agenda. I'm sure they've got plenty to talk about, but it definitely has to be done before budget hearing.
You want to do this before the budget hearing. This is the assistance to then help them prepare. And then you would meet your statutory duty, and then they would have, I think actually some excellent information going into pre-budget hearings.
I feel that the departments and everybody that's been involved, and I've seen several of them, some of them just came in today and I haven't had a chance to look at, but we're using, excuse me, we're using realistic numbers, and that is gonna make a huge difference. We're not gonna like those realistic numbers because they're much higher than what we've been budgeted for in the past, but I think it's gonna help.
The council doesn't meet again after July the 20th before budget hearings on August the 11th.
Then you'll have to put it on that agenda.
On the 20th.
Can I make an appointment?
Okay, so I will go through and since how there's multiple copies of everything, I'll just make sure each of you get copies. You want me to scan them in and email to you? I'll put a hard copy in there. The email from the public defender, and I'll get them out to you in the next couple of days.
What I'm gonna ask you to do for me to present to the council is just make a summary of each department's total. And then if they want to go ahead and pursue any more, they've got the file there. I mean, obviously, we don't want to copy that 7 different times with everything you have there at this time. I would just do a minimized budget. Here's the totals, basically off the single sheet. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Any elected official or department head comments? Kathleen, I can always count on you.
You always.
We have one for.
So, gonna fill you in on a few things that happened this weekend. I don't even remember what day it was anymore because there's something that happened every single morning. One morning, we lost half of our 911 phones. That is because some of our trunk system is still over at the jail. I have a feeling that has probably contributed some to the air conditioner, the chiller going out, and possible heat fluctuation back there in that telco room because there's no air in that room. It is what it is. So we were able to fix this on our own because I did have the company has sent us some backup little modems because this has happened so often. So we were able to exchange that out, get it replaced, and we were down for, wasn't even an hour. We were still receiving 911 calls. It was just a portion of our 911 calls that that was not routing through that system. So we did not miss anything, just letting you guys know that that did go down again. However, this will all resolve itself once we get all of that phone equipment out of the jail and upstairs. I did just hear from AT&T, they plan on taking down some of their stuff July 15th. So we should be done end of July, pending hearing back from AT&T of when they can transfer those administrative lines over to the new facility for dispatch to take over the 4874 and the 55756 numbers, to ring directly into dispatch, and then that'll assign the sheriff's department a new phone number. Also what happened this weekend is the dispatch center lost its internet. Got a hold of, good thing is we still had phones, we still had our CAD system, we still had our stake system to run BMV and everything. It affected all of our other external, partners that we use, our Rapid SOS, texties, for people to be able to text to 911, and also our email within the center. Got a hold of fourth phase, they sent Mike out and, I don't know what happened, but it was our certificates were not renewed over at the 911 center. So Mike fixed that, he said he would follow up today. I don't know. So.
We've had these
Is that a
conversations.
thing?
I don't.
Well, here's the problem, and Sam can relate to this. We built that building, then we built a 911. We had what I'm gonna say, and honestly believe an incompetent IT situation at the time. And it was just hodgepodge, whatever kind of got put together. We were all left in the dark, and I don't know, what is this, the 10th or 12th time that something's popped up to deal with that type of problem?
Gosh,
I don't know how many it's been, and we've all dealt with it. So I apologize for that. I wasn't involved in that at the time, but moving forward, we'll, whatever it takes to get it fixed.
Yeah, luckily it didn't affect critical infrastructure of the 911 center, and Mike was able to come out and they were able to get it fixed pretty quickly. It went down, so I don't know oversight by who exactly what it was. I don't know if that was something that was coming to the previous IT person directly and him dealing with it, and then I don't know.
Yeah, and it's all a very good question. Obviously, Sheila's not been notified of anything. I've not seen
I
anything.
have no idea. All I was told was it was a certificate security that wasn't renewed. Mike took care of it and he would follow up today.
Okay.
So.
Sam, as you were running the dispatch out of the sheriff's office, does that ring a bell to you at all? Okay. Okay, something else that we'll look into. I'll check with IT and see what they have to say. Obviously, this has a renewal. Do we know if it's 1 year? We don't know anything.
I know nothing.
Okay.
I don't know if there's actually cost associated with it. I have no idea.
Nobody presented anything,
No.
just said it was there.
Yeah,
All right,
and we didn't know it was there, so,
we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, Jenny popped out of the bottle.
yeah.
And at that point, we'll make sure that you have a file on it, auditor has a file on it, that we're all aware of when this thing comes up again.
Of exactly what it was.
Yeah, and that, unfortunately, it was Independence Day weekend. It's not a good time for that stuff to be happening, so.
That's when it always happens, is it 2 o'clock in the morning or over the weekend or a holiday weekend, so. One of the things that I believe you guys have for me in the packet again is the 911 center staffing proposal. I understand that I'm not gonna be the most well-liked person after I present this, because I understand that all of the other departments that run from general funds are being asked to lay people off. And here I am asking for an employee. So our numbers are continuing to get higher. We have more call volume that's coming in, especially with it being the summertime. This also leads into comp PTO issues to be able to staff the dispatch center appropriately. So what I'm going to ask for you guys is, I presented this to you, I don't remember, I think it was back in April or May. And I was advised at that time to wait till the Crow report comes in. So we know where we sit as a county, as a fiscal body as it is. However, the dispatch center, due to state statutes and the way my money comes in, it works a little bit differently than it does for some other departments. So one of the things that I was going to offer up is if you guys approve for me to hire this additional employee, create another dispatch position, so that would give me 10 dispatchers. I would look from those that have been laid off, possibly terminated from the other departments. And if it is somebody that is qualified to work within dispatch, I would hire from that section of people.
I wanna back that up, what you're saying, I mean, it's a whole different ballgame. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have dispatch,
Oh, yeah.
dispatch first responder.
And we're running thin, people are tired, they're tired like everybody is tired, and it's not a physically demanding job, but it is mentally exhausting to hear the stuff that we hear every single day in and day out over the phone. And then also to be tasked with making sure that we provide as much officer safety as we can to make sure they know the situations that they're walking into, and also provide medical assessments for EMS for whenever they arrive to scenes. So it's an extremely taxing job. It's burnout is ridiculous and the stress is extremely high. So by being able to add this additional position, that's going to add more people on the floor during our busy time, so it's going to help distribute some of that workload throughout everybody on the floor. So I have also done the analysis based off of just revenues from this year. My revenues do change from the PSAP tax, I'm sorry. Those typically go up. So I've done the numbers just based off of what revenue was last year, and I'm able to fully fund this position into 2026 if those public safety tax never goes up. I'm able to fund it all myself.
Well, as your liaison, you and I've had this discussion many times. I know that you're understaffed. I've been a supporter of getting your people's comp time and PTO time paid down to where they can take some time off. I support it. I know that it's probably not a good thing to say. Like you said, when we're cutting other areas, but this is public safety. And again, I know when I call, if I ever have to, I want somebody there answering that phone and knows what they're doing. So that are rested and ready to make the call. And I would definitely agree with you and make sure that we put this in a motion that position be looked at first by existing employees, first and foremost. You guys have any questions or comments on any of this? And again, it's not a time to be doing it, but it's also a time to take care of our public safety.
Yeah.
And if you can fund it yourself, that makes a big difference because you're not asking anybody to come and support.
Exactly.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't need any additional monies from the county. So the figure that you see on page 7, the $46,045.87, that is a person that is coming in that has no longevity. If I do end up hiring, if somebody is qualified from within the county that is potentially being laid off or whatever the situation might be, longevity will play into that factor of that total going up a little bit just based on years of service that person potentially has with the county, because that carries over with them, their longevity pay carries over with them, but their seniority does not within the rank of my actual facility, so.
Do I hear a motion to approve Kathleen's request to add additional staff, and that staff be looked at by furloughed employees first and foremost, for hire?
Does that,
Do I?
does that go for the council first?
It does.
Yeah, depending on what you guys say, I'm gonna have Sheila
It's
put it on the
subject to
20th, yeah.
Our approval, but it's subject to council approval.
Yeah, and they have seen all of this as well, so, because even when it was, held over, I still presented at
I was
their
gonna say, you
meetings, so
presented this before.
yeah, so they knew it would be coming.
So I have a motion, I have a motion by Dale, do I hear a second?
With that condition go for the council.
Yep.
I second that motion then.
And have a second by Bob, all in favor? Aye.
All right, I appreciate it. So after I hear back, or after I present at the council determining on what they say, then I will reach out to department heads and let them know of the posting. So, and we'll start there.
The other, and again, it's gonna depend on when you post this, because we put an August 15th deadline on those other ones, so if none of those people have been notified before this goes out, that can be an issue, so we need to think about maybe that a little bit, so.
Yeah, I figured the hiring of the person wouldn't happen until after the August 15th or the
Okay.
1st of September.
Okay,
Depending on paying out of time, using time.
a lot of factors there,
Yeah,
gotcha,
So,
okay,
all right,
all right, thank
that's
you.
all I got.
Okay, Sam, you have anything? No. Okay, public comment?
I'll say, can I ask one question about the comp pay?
Sure.
So I guess my question with that is just, if everyone were to max out their comp time every year, it's a budget, or it's a debt that the county's accruing, is that right? So it's not allocated, but if everyone maxes that out every single year. And Mr. Burton had said there's something like you're carrying $400,000 worth of comp.
That's not just in comp time, that's PTO time and vacation time,
Okay, so
all of it together.
That's all the human resource compensation. So I guess I was just wondering, is that an easy way for several $100,000 in debt to be accrued in a calendar year that's not allocated? And it seems like that would be easy to miss, and the next thing you know, you owe money to employees. So I guess I was just wondering if that's the case, because Jim said it was a real debt, correct?
Correct, I mean, it's not imaginary in that, oh, I just had 20 hours comp, I'll get it worked. If the person would quit and leave, that money actually has to be paid.
It's owed, correct?
Yes, it's owed.
So it's not allocated like the overtime budget, so I'm just saying, for my money edge is that it's a sneaky little way that debt can pop up on Owen County because that money's not allocated, or there almost needs to be a hypothetical situation where he said, if everyone maxes out their comp time in 2022, the county would accrue X, and at least that dot is on the radar of. Otherwise, you could just pop up over $1 million in that's never allocated because it wasn't approved or allocated through.
Correct, and that's why that we request, Sam's department heads request time and a half.
Not to blow smoke, but bravo to all of you for your fortitude during these times and these tough matters. I think you guys are navigating with grace. The reason I'm here today, everyone knows I've been working on the Owen Camp project for a couple years with that group. I want to just say that I took it under contract only in May, and so even though I've been part of that group and supporting that that project, my hands have been tied, and I haven't had exclusive authority until only 30 days or 40 days ago. So I want to make sure that and the other thing that I've discovered and has been revealed to me in the past 2 months as I've kind of been able to step up because now I'm definitively in control is that there were maybe a couple different narratives surrounding this project. And so I just want to come before you commissioners today and just make clear that anything that's wondered, anything that's said should come through me and not from any of the other narratives in the county surrounding this project. I will say that we have an excellent design that we believe will really fit the criteria for workforce housing need, and we really believe will add to the much needed tax base here in Owen County, Indiana. Like I said, I have no intentions today. You know, we had talked about partnering with the county for some help with the new train road. Whenever more things have been revealed to me, Mr. Burton, and then I see we privately still want to, our intentions, I hope that is going to cover my mouth if I speak too much, but our intentions are to privately fund at least the infrastructure for the new train road and the infrastructure for the expandability. Now, if you guys never pick it up and run with it, I'm not going to pay for the road all the way to the school, but I at least want to set you guys up for success. And we believe that contribution is, as a hometown guy or whatever, it's just good stewardship of the property is what it is. We are in alignment with the largest workforce housing builder in Monroe County. He is very excited to come over here and serve Owen County and our needs. We have business models that we're very excited about, and as long as everything goes well with my approvals and things at the county, you will see that activity coming very soon. You will see the first baby step as I am applying to rezone. And I just wanted to.
That was my next question. You're actively working with BZA, the Planning Commission?
We are. I've already talked, yeah, BZA, I've already talked to Susan downstairs. We got everyone synced up real quick here in the past couple of weeks, Mr. Burton. And it's just, I think it's just what everyone needed. So you'll see the first baby step is my application for rezone. I've been talking with the neighbors, working with them. I graded the washout on the driveway. Sometimes the simple things can go the longest ways, but they know, and they like me hearing things like, hearing me say things like, well, we're looking at entrances and we're taking the neighbors' experiences into consideration. You can ask Beth in our design and our approach, and these are the kind of things that neighbors like to hear because they know we're not just running in there and trying to make a buck flipping this dirt. So
right.
At the end of the day, I just wanted to say my 2 cents. I wanted my face to be a little bit more familiar instead of me dumping some huge.
You had the hat on today, threw me off for a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
But I don't need to ramble or take any more of your time. I just want to say bravo for everything you guys are doing. If there's anything that wants inquiries, anything on this particular project, Ms. Beth Wood here, myself, or anyone in our group, and just we really, really hope that we're here to work with you guys. If there's design changes, things like that that need to be done, we're just here to kind of be in tandem with you guys and hope. We need the housing, we need the taxes.
We want the progress, don't get us wrong, we want that badly. We just want to make sure it's done right, that's all.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask you, to work with our county attorney as issues come up. We depend on Jim greatly, and that's what we prefer that you do. That way, if we run into a snag, he can deal with it before it gets to us.
I like that. And that's what I was saying, there's a couple different narratives, so I thought the best way is just to come sit here and say, here's who I am, and this is what we're trying to do.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
And your name is Adam Hall?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, my name's Adam Hall.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Okay, Jim, we have the Personnel Policy 103 to finish up here.
The good news is it's just a paragraph. Commissioner, this is just purely a technical amendment. A number of your agencies are applying for grants, and this is required for their grant approval. This is Owen County Board of Commissioners, Owen County Personnel Policies. This is 103, Equal Employment Opportunity. Its effective date was 9/19/2005. It was revised on 3/26/2007, 7/1/2010, and as of today, if so approved, 7/6/2021. Owen County Personnel Policy 103, Equal Employment Opportunity, paragraph 2 is hereby vacated and shall be amended to read as follows. Owen County, Indiana is an equal employment opportunity employer. It is a policy of Owen County to treat all employees and applicants in employment equally according to their individual qualifications, abilities, experience, and other employment standards. Owen County does not discriminate on the basis of age, color, disability, national origin, religion, sex, citizenship status, genetic information, gender, race, ancestry, off-duty tobacco use, sealed or expunged, arrest record, conviction record, veteran status, or any other legal protected classification. This policy of non-discrimination applies to all terms and conditions of employment, including but not limited to recruiting, hiring, promotion, training, transfer, compensation, and discharge. It is a policy of Owen County to comply with all applicable federal, state, and local laws governing employment. This amendment was passed and adopted by the Board of Commissioners of Owen County, State of Indiana, held on a regular meeting on today's date and month of 2021. Owen County Board of Commissioners, Gary Burton, President, Robert Curry, Vice President, Dale Du Bois, Commissioner, assisted by Sheila Reeves, Auditor.
Thank you, Jim. Trying to do two things at once here. Okay, do I hear a motion for approval of Personnel Policy 103?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Bob, do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second by Dale. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
3-0, Sheila. Okay, anything else, Jim?
Oh, nothing from me, thank you.
Okay. Madam Auditor. Nothing. Well, commissioners, do you have any other comments?
I have none.
Dale? Nope. Okay. Well, meetings went long enough, and I'll keep it real short. Again, I want to thank the department heads and the elected officials for continuing to work on our budget issue. Hopefully we'll get some guidance and leadership moving forward here to deal with these problems. We seem to be treading water, and that's about all we're getting done, so it's time to start swimming somewhere. So anyway, motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Got a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank y'all for showing up. Shannon, we're working on your paperwork here. Jim and I got a couple of things for you before you run off.
Always have to do that.
Sure.
Check on them all.
Swear me. Got to tear them little tabs off.
Minus the special meetings. I know in July, the 12th was a regular council meeting, but then we're having a meeting on the 20th instead.
Okay.
Because my boss will be the one have to sign them, so.
You just want Sheila to go ahead and email it to you then?
Yeah, I'll give her my card here.
Yeah, whatever she'll need to do, give her the right to.
I appreciate
everything
your
else to do.
wisdom in that, because he's right, if you send that money back, you guys might not see it for
I did not get a
Couple more years,
May never get it for 2 or 3 more years.
yeah.
Well, this county struggles so bad with our conditions of roads, any of them that we can get paved, more money ahead, you know?
It's about 9 miles is what
Yeah,
it was.
exactly. Turning it down, just, we may be light on some other projects, but at least we're making progress.
I would just like to get the minutes.
It doesn't matter if we had $10 million, we're not gonna make everybody happy.
Yeah.
But we
Well, you guys
appreciate
are,
the work you do for us.
Echo Adams, you guys are doing a wonderful job under
Try to write as
dire situations, so I commend you for that, so. It's a tough spot to be in, so.
Yeah, especially when somebody else created it for you,
Yeah,
you're trying to figure out how to deal with it.
wasn't your problem to begin with, and you're
Exactly.
trying to fix it, so,
But in the public eye, you know, it's, all falls back right here.
yeah. Yeah. Well, any way we can help, got my numbers, let me know.
You're helping just by doing a great job. We appreciate it. Thank you.